nakwanga kwenye zone. You should watch your tone. My niggas wanakwanga on. Uspime nandikanga kwa phone. Hii ni radiation unasikiza ndani ya bars. Uspime they know that I'm the Don. Teacher on duty, niki pull up na viboko skinge. I keep it real kwa kila nacho kifanya. Plus I'm the sickest in the game, uspinge. Throw over old dogs, new tricks. Politicians still using old tricks. Mindo connect, tukilink, take pics. Anytime ukiwa in shit tutaifix. Baba yao in the mix na wanajua wanafaa warudi keja by 6. Tafadhali usini jinx. Wananitakia mema au ni show kila siku kwa streets.
Tunaigapi on the low, no jokes. Tunaigapi on the front, don't stop. Tunaigapi everywhere. Presence of the streets we spreading through the air. Still living fresh and living righteous. Redeem and redeem after. Passing these joints like it never felt my point. I'm on a hot joint. Heavy on this cliff, I call it a hot point. Let's get it.
Bele church, nyuma nyang'ande. Ni hard kusurvive hizi pande. Ni kama hatupatani ya fande. Umewai yako, wana unihande. Nilikuwa na mcall, daily ya nipande. Maarifa kamchacha anigande. Ati sana ipei uliza tande. Low quality itabidi nipande. Sihitaji help to clean my mess. All my sins got zero witnesses.
Yes, good afternoon, family. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope your week has been great and productive, peaceful, however you can claim it. And of course, wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead. Karibuni sana to another episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. To those on YouTube, BitChute, and on the network, hello. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far, or that morning. It is a beautiful day right here in the 254. Can't complain. And of course, ready for today's conversation, we shall be talking about inequality in Africa and how blacks have been designed to be at the bottom.
You work magic.
What magic?
You got that dude's YouTube channel terminated.
Whose channel terminated?
The ugly goofy dude that said Kenyan women are all ugly.
Oh, that's nice. That's some good news.
He got his channel terminated, so you don't got no money to make it back to the States. Broke.
Oh, that's some beautiful news, being honest. I'm not that active on TikTok at all.
There you go. Yeah, they got it. Kenyans got them up out the box. Got them up.
But everybody's a family once again. How are you doing today, Kid?
I'm doing okay, Joby. Early in the morning. How you doing today?
I'm great. Can't complain. Yeah.
How's your leg? How's your leg feeling? A little bit better?
Better than how it's feeling. Just
all right.
On and off pain. I can't say it's completely just on and off pain. That's all. On and off pain. But yeah.
Well?
Yeah, I did. The painkillers, they help, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so of course, karibuni. Before we get started, a quick reminder, family, download our app on the Google Play Store. If it is your first time joining us right here, kindly do also subscribe on whatever streaming platform you're listening live to us from. And welcome. And ensure once you have the app, you can get yourself these amazing supplements we have on the like of ashwagandha, multivitamin, brain and focus formula, which I'd like to share the health and benefits it comes with. And of course, also you should get yourself some merchandise in terms of t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, everything, literally, for your girlfriend, for your side chick, for your moms, for your sister, for your brother, anyone that actually you love and care about. But for now, let's focus with some brain and focus as we get straight to the conversation of today.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Yes, and much more. Karibuni sana once again. And as we get straight to the conversation of today, we shall be talking about what is happening in Rwanda and Kenya specifically. Those are the headlines of the day, rather where we shall be focusing on mostly what is happening in Kenya, where many more bodies have been found. And this actually is an incident connected to what took place in 2023 or last year, where 600 and something bodies actually were digged out, and many body organs, including children's body organs, were missing. And this case is something that the government just said condolences to the family of those who actually whose members were found here, but many more bodies have been retrieved. We shall be talking about that, and of course, we want to start with what is happening in Rwanda, where the first deportees have arrived in Rwanda as part of the deal with Washington D.C. and this is crazy. And of course, we saw recently also Uganda being part of it. There's Uganda, there's Rwanda, Uganda. I'm not sure about the third country, but let's start with this as we dig deeper and talk about what is happening here.
Rwanda says the first group of 7 deportees from the United States arrived in the country in mid-August under an agreement with Washington. The government spokesperson added that each case was vetted under the bilateral agreement, which allows Kigali to review and approve migrants before granting entry. No information was provided about the identities of the deportees.
Exactly. That is another problem we have, because there's no racial identification of who are these people coming here. We're literally not sure who are being dropped in these countries. When we talk about Rwanda and Uganda, who are these people? The identity has not been disclosed. So if you ask me, actually, as a reporter, who are these people, I don't have an idea, because it's not anywhere mentioned. So we're yet to figure out who are these people who are coming in Rwanda, being deported to Rwanda and in Uganda.
She said on Thursday that they'd been accommodated by an international organization. The 7 are also being visited by the International Organization for Migration, as well as representatives of Rwandan social services. The spokesperson says that 3 of the deportees say they want to return to their home countries, while the other 4 wish to stay and build lives in Rwanda. Earlier in August, Kigali said it would accept up to 250 people to be expelled from the United States under President Donald Trump's anti-immigrant agenda. Rwanda is one of 4 African countries that have reached deportation agreements with Washington. The others are Uganda, Eswatini, and South Sudan.
Yeah, so we have Eswatini, South Sudan, and Uganda. So this is crazy. So of course, there's no identification. As much as what we've been shown, we're not sure those are the people coming here. And like we were reading yesterday, most of these people actually have records of rape cases, criminal cases, and other bad records. And these are the same people coming here and impregnate our women, because also you look at the poverty mindset that our people have, which we shall be talking about literally. We talk about lack of inequality in Africa, and where the Black people have been on purpose put at the bottom. The poverty mindset overtakes you. You stop critically thinking, and you think this white man is your savior, and you don't have even an idea who you don't. This is what the people don't question. Where do you come from? What is your background? What did you do? Why are you in Africa? Such question. You meet someone, you start having sex with them. The next minute you're pregnant, and they dump you. How many cases do you have of these cases and scenarios happening? And that's not even, and that aside, we also find where the same people go ahead, and because they understand African people are easily, because of the love, I'd say easily vulnerable. Not all of them, but some. For those, and I'm talking about the poverty mindset again, overtaking you, easily vulnerable, they're gonna use you and brag about this. Look at the white man, the Mzungu, who went recording young girls and bragging about how he's been affecting them with HIV and AIDS. You think you've won a trophy. you the trophy is literally falling on you. You know, you win another trophy of disease, which you'll have to carry for the rest of your life. So this is sad, and lack of protection when it comes to our people. The same thing in the comments I was reading yesterday. We saw most of the people were like, Africa, we take all the dumps, all the dumping sites that these people throw here. But when it comes to us, they don't even want to see us in their part of the world, you know. So why should we be easily gullible? Why should we be the one cleaning and sweeping other people's messes? It is not fair, especially to us, the majority, because this should be a question addressed to us. You know, this is something that when you come to public participation, if this is something that was working, public participation is much required. The citizens of the country should be notified, made understood. What are the effects to take place there? What is happening? Because trust me, Rwandese, and especially in that country, the fact that people can't even talk, you know, in Uganda, the same, people are so silent and weak. You know, look at Eswatini. Who even knows much about Eswatini? I mean, like I'd say, like Trump said, who knows Eswatini? Who knows much about Eswatini? Those are the same people can't even fight currently with the same affairs affecting them today in South Africa. South Sudan, a country literally bombarded by war for the last 3 years. What are we talking about? The public participation is not there because also the same countries, they don't even public participate in anything when it comes to internal affairs. So what is it? External affairs? And that is what actually needs to be addressed, because what is democracy? We are the democracy, and we should rule and term what democracy is. And my words should, they should participate in the decision making of this regime's decision, but they won't do that. And that is where they are in power for this long. But moving on to the next conversation, talking about Kenya. This is not literally, I don't want to say this is a statistics only to do with Kenya. I do believe, of course, African women, all of us, we're really fertile. We've seen the capability of African women, come on, bearing close to 10 children, even more than 10 children. We've had women bearing 20 plus children. In Uganda, there's such cases, and much more. I've personally grown up with a large family when it comes to the side of my mom. Like, we really many. And we were talking about some of the cultures and traditions we used to practice that helped us know each other is the family gathering. So this would avoid most of the incidents you've seen, like, you know, sleeping with family members, or you meeting in the city and you don't know this is your family member and you end up getting married. But statistics does say that Kenyan women rank among the world's most fertile women, and this is according to the World Bank data. And they're saying that the fertility rate is 4.0 and higher. And of course, we have other African countries. If I am to look closer,
All black African countries, brother,
of
with
course,
African women.
of course. And we have, of course, the people with below with 1.0. That is, of course, in Asia, Europe. That is what you can see according to this map. But
And
yeah, it's all.
I wonder why. I just want, if they're the most superior people that you've been told and you believe such nonsense, I wonder why.
Yeah, so yes, it's all African women literally super fertile. But again, this brings me closer to the recent focus of the 8 year family planning that they have been pushing.
Exactly.
Kenya is one among the
Shout out,
countries that are supposed to
shout out to
receive.
that moron we were talking to in the studio this morning. Hey, I think Bill Gates might be good. What? Yeah, you're grabbing money. And I know you cut me off, Shimani. Shimani muted my mic.
Okay. I don't know. I was trying to listen, but I was doing my research, so I was like, I'm not gonna focus on that
Oh,
much.
oh, you was
Uh,
listening. You was on it. You was listening.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was just on YouTube.
yeah. I came back. Somebody had muted my mic. I understand that your guest, some more. He might be. I think he might be good and he's dangerously stupid. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
Joe.
yeah, remember that Kenya is one of the countries that Bill Gates were focusing on this. We had Nigeria as well, but understanding like the Namibian president did, she said no to this program. We had, of course, also Burkina Faso, and a couple of, not really a couple, but Namibia and Burkina Faso have been the only countries saying no to Bill Gates' foundation agendas being pushed in Africa. And it's where you understand that this is not about Kenya and Nigeria. Just the fact that your country is not mentioned, it doesn't mean it's not going to get to other countries, because we've seen this is what they do. Let's talk about skin bleaching. They started in Nigeria, highly promoted in Nollywood. How did it get to Kenya? So it shows you this is not just an agenda about Nigeria itself or the women in Nigeria. They look pretty when they skin bleach. It's trying to push that agenda of, inferiority complex to you, so you can continue hating yourself, bringing cancer diseases and all that. So once we understand that, we need to stop focusing on just one country. So saying that actually Kenyan women are ranked amongst, no, go do your research and statistics very well. Women across the African continent, like I've said, I've grown up with a very large family. Like I'm coming from a family of where grandmothers, great grandmothers had like 10, close to 10 children, literally close to 15 children. We still have such histories happening to date, where women actually have like 20 children and many, many grandchildren, because the fertility rate is there. If not tampered with these safety measures they're trying to bring, we have the capability of taking care of yourself. But again, we've seen women have to do that because I debated it very well. I'm not promoting that, but if you're coming from a poor background, especially, and you want to protect yourself and you're sexually active, again, we're adults, you'll need to protect, you'll need to do something about yourself, either withdraw or take the plan B, which is not also is the same thing. They're the same pills, the same things, but
Put on a condom. How about that?
Keith, you yourself, you discussed about a condom. Is not, you don't even like a condom. This is
I
just
never used them. I never used them. That's right. I wouldn't get nobody pregnant either. I didn't. Well, I did. I did mess up that right. But as women, I wouldn't tell you to take none of that dangerous ass shit in your butt. Why should you take the risk and a man not? That's going to your body. If I was a woman, I'm like, what? I'm not taking none of that shit. Especially coming by you know who, by your enemies. But if I being a woman, Joby, let's say I'm not a man.
true.
If I was a woman, you couldn't mess with me without no rubber because
Well,
because I don't want to put that shit up in me. But me being a man, I don't want to wear it because it don't feel like nothing to me. If I'm wearing a rubber, that's why I can never wear them. I mean, okay, let me give an example. When we were in Asia, we were given all kind of briefs because it's like deadly syphilis and gonorrhea. It's called black syphilis. If you get the shit, it's not uncurable sexual diseases, right?
mm-hmm.
And if you get the stuff, there's no cure for it, right? It's called black syphilis and some other kind of gonorrhea to have in Asia. I was like, oh shit. But see,
Mm-hmm.
I never mess with low class women. Like that ain't my thing. Easy coochie, I don't like usually touch it because I say, if you're easy with me, you're easy with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and
Ew.
hey, well, hey, it's what it is. But so,
Now
what
I'm
I'm
looking at the
saying,
black syphilis. It's so ew, like it's really bad.
you look at who?
The black syphilis.
Oh, you pulled it up already. Yeah. Damn. Well, you quick with that Google, ain't you?
Oh, you gotta know what you're talking about. I like understanding things, not
You
being
quick, you
ew.
quick with that Google, my guy. So when we got there, we got a briefing on sexual orientation about how black syphilis is running around. Yeah, it just your penis falls out. You can't do nothing for it.
God damn.
That's
Yes.
right. So ain't no coochie worth my penis falling out, Joe.
God damn. That's disgusting.
so 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 unlike most men like that moron in Kenya, I don't go pay for nobody's private part. You keep that. You'll never hear me also, and you'll never hear me sexually assault no woman at no job site. You keep that. I don't know what that's been. I just don't get that. I just don't get down like that.
I get that. I get that, but I understand because we were discussing this even just recently on the studio on one of the shows where
Yeah.
again they see condoms are also very dangerous because to the man maybe it's not effective, but to the woman the oil is
Oh, probably bad for me. Exactly. I can't. I try to use them at one time. I know I had to have the big kind because I'm not trying to brag, but I can never put them on. And then when I did, I couldn't feel. I said, to me, you might as well not be having sex. I can't
exactly.
feel nothing. I was like, I don't feel nothing. So hey, me doing this, it don't work for me. Hey, you do it. It's safety for your health. Good. I agree with that. But for me, I might as well not even be having sex because I don't feel nothing. Nothing. I've used a rubber once in my life. I ain't like one time. I was like, what? I don't feel
So
nothing. So get this.
so you've been in that position. You think everyone is not in that position? Like everyone likes using rubber. Of course, everyone wants to enjoy sex raw, like for real.
I,
That is
yeah, yeah,
that is
yeah, I guess
yeah.
certain guys, I guess certain people can feel it. Me with like a thing, I don't feel nothing. I'm like, this is a waste. This is a waste. I don't feel nothing. Why am I doing it? This don't even, why am I having sex? What is this? I didn't feel nothing, Joe. I was disgusted. I couldn't, I'm like, I'm done. I got it before we got to say, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. This ain't gonna work. I'm done. No,
Yes.
Keith, what are you doing? I said, no, this ain't gonna work. This rubber thing ain't for me. I ain't gonna work. So I would tell people because understand that we weren't supposed to be doing none of this stuff because sex is sacred. You're not supposed to be just sleeping with people. I didn't know that as a young guy. I was just out doing my thing with a bunch of women, but you're not supposed to be sleeping around. Sex is sacred. It's a exchange of energy. So that's why you're supposed to know the person. You know where they're loose and where they got diseases and all that because you learn their character. See,
Mm-hmm.
so once I learn your character, hey, I can feel safe. But me having, me not just sleeping with you and having a
Yeah,
good time. No, that's out of here. Too
I agree.
dangerous.
I agree with that. I do not support that jumping around from one person to
Well,
another.
especially as a woman, yeah, a woman's even
Disgust.
worse because a woman, you take in stuff. And now that what we know with women, you guys know whenever a man comes inside of you, you take his DNA into your system. Did you know that? I didn't know that stuff growing up. And
I
so when
didn't
you
know.
have yeah, you take his DNA and it goes into your brain. Yeah, what? Women is dead. I'm like, I ain't know. I learned this years later. That a woman you take along every sexual partner a woman has who allows a man to copulate in you. You take a part of their DNA. That's why when you have a baby with some other guy, it can look like the dude you had sex with 20 days ago. I mean 20 years ago, because that DNA is all mixed inside you as a woman. That baby can look like the guy who made you pregnant because you got all these DNAs up in you, and you can you can Google that, Google that
That's
shit.
true.
You
That
know,
is true. I was taught
oh,
by my dad personally when I started like when I was
oh, see,
literally on
they
my
knew. Cool.
yeah, so he taught me like you can't do this. This is the consequences. You're gonna look old. You're gonna do this. This is this. And so yeah,
I don't know about
uh,
you looking old, but I don't know about that. I just
yeah,
know
you
that.
do. Yeah, you do. That's true. You do, especially as a woman. To be specific, as a woman,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, yeah. Well, you're not supposed to be nobody's doormat. So, as a woman, I to my daughters, know, man, well, you be selective with who you decide to give your flower to, right? Being
Mm.
being being respectful here. Um, you don't lose your flower as a garbage bin because you're collecting people's genetics. I never knew that. So that's when people were talking about having soul attachment. All this stuff is real. It's all because it's spiritual. Right? Why we never taught? Well, my parents didn't know none of this. They were stupid about that. They know none of this stuff. So sex is very spiritual. So, especially for women, you
Yeah.
know, because you're taking people, you're taking individuals into your body.
Mhm.
So, unless you have a connection with this person, I tell them that's an absolute no. So,
Mhm. Yeah, but as we continue, as
okay.
before we get into the main conversation of the day in Kenya, we have police who have found more bodies. This is not just five because reports have been emerging since last week where new bodies have been found, and this is the case linked to what happened in 2023, if I'm not wrong, where we saw more than 400 bodies were retrieved and some body organs were missing. So
Wow.
answers, because this is again, I think personally, thinking about it, it could be bodies of the young killed people during the demonstration, because remember also during the demonstration so many young people were killed and dumped on a supermarket, and people discovered this, and because they wanted to say that these people were shot because of trying to loot the supermarket, but it was the young people shot on the streets being dumped in the supermarket. And when people discovered this, the police tried to cover the whole scene, and the government has not discussed this till to date. So it could be the same thing. I'm trying to think about it and connect the dots. How is this possible that after a year, or after a year, that's when they're finding more other bodies closer to the same incident? It's not really making sense to me. So this is what is happening.
Starve and you'll meet Jesus.
Stop and
That is
meet
what
Jesus.
Kenyan pastor Paul Mackenzie allegedly told his followers before they died. On Wednesday, authorities uncovered 5 bodies buried in
He
shallow
did.
graves
He
near
did what
coastal
before they
town of
died?
Kilifi.
Did you say they
After
choke them?
No, because remember, this was the pastor who was telling people to starve so that they can meet
Oh, the
Jesus.
starve. Go to. Yeah.
400 people's body were retrieved. So they're saying that now
Oh
more
my
bodies
God.
have been discovered closer to the same place where other bodies were retrieved. That was in 2023. So it's not making sense that after a whole year, that's when they discover some more bodies were
More
close to the
bodies.
same incident. And you try connect the dots with the demonstration. This could be the young people killed during the demonstration. The bodies were dumped there.
Exactly.
They're going to
Exactly.
use this scenario to make it seem like,
Like
because
it was a minister thing. Exactly.
yeah, can they really give us real autopsy? Can the bodies be observed, or they're gonna give us other excuses? Because that's what they did. Ruto, all he said is
Yes.
condolences to the families of those who lost their family, but body organs are missing. Is that not going to be addressed? Because that has become a major uh business
Of
now
course.
here
Of
in
course, because you're black, you're African, got the best organs.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So a lot of answers are not adding up.
finding a total of 24 victims in the past 5 days. Kenyan police have arrested several suspects who are all former followers of Pastor Paul Mackenzie. Court documents show that the suspects stayed with Mackenzie in Shakahola Forest, where 400 members of his doomsday cult were found dead 2 years ago. The pastor is currently in custody on charges of murder and terrorism.
It's not making sense. It's not adding up, but I'll be following up and update you on what is happening on that side. But now, on the lack of literally, why would you would be told pray and you'll meet Jesus? This is the main reason why this mindset is likely to take over, and why 400 people actually stabbed themselves to death, because the fact that you've been made and told that religion, pray and you're going to become rich, or Jesus is going to deliver, drop the wealth on your door, that is the biggest scam we've been given. You can't just pray and not put actions as well in what you're praying for. That is also another law of when it comes to manifestation
Can't be
itself.
praying. Exactly. Well, praying don't work. That's begging. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're coming from a place of scarce. So the universe sees you as you talk about scarcity. So the universe gives you more scarcity, puts you more. Funny thing about the Europeans destroyed the African mind. That's how things work. Since now you're praying because you come from a place of scarcity, the universe just mirrors what you're giving it, scarcity. So the universe gives you back more scarcity and not abundance. So you stay in poverty. You stay in this loop. Hey, why my prayers ain't never gonna answer? Well, sister, give me more shillings. Bring more shillings to the church. And time's better. Okay, Pastor. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we have this video. I love this documentary. I think of course, we've talked about Kibera a couple of times, but it's rare to hear this mindset of people understanding why this slum organization, because this is an organized thing that has been working for since the fake independency. And I love the
Of
fact that the
course.
history is explained right here. The young people coming from Kibera, some are understanding this, and this was a good video to watch. So let me share this as we continue.
The poor neighborhood can only make any human being angry.
Social justice is an ambition. It cannot be
Exactly.
achieved under such a system.
No matter how much help, there's always going to be more need that's going to be required.
Because it's inhumane. It shouldn't have been built. It's inhumane.
Mm-hmm.
As the slums, those slums are level of poverty is inhumane. And as a leader, Santa Kagame, you would have been put all that shit down to the ground.
Well, I do love there's a question one of the guys posed on this video, the same question I asked, like, I understand why people, of course, and where they come from. Again, distraction. These people understand those terms, distraction. These people are not human beings. They don't even have consciousness of understanding what's good and what's not. At this particular point, if I understand everything right? So when it comes to the African leaders, you try question.
They know what's good and evil. They just choose to be evil.
We go back to the video. I'm saying that because we go back to the video which said they don't have a second thought of, the same way we have the consciousness of understanding is, they say they have consciousness. So that is what I'm talking about. But these leaders do. Africans, we do have a consciousness of understanding this is evil, like on a humane level, if it makes sense, right? You understand when people are suffering, when people need help, and that should not make you happy. You desire and want to have a heart to help and even want more to help. And this is why I go back to question something that I've had now, people starting to pop the question. Our dreams, especially for those coming from poverty, or majority of us as Africans, our dreams were, I want to be rich so I can help the poor. But that is no longer a say or a term you hear anymore. Everyone wants to be rich and grow their balloon stomach and continue with nepotism for real. The dream of wanting to help the society is no longer there. And that is because whatever I'm making for real, by the time I was talking about that dream and now the reality is different. The economy is eating me hard as well. Yes, I'm making enough to sustain my life and the my beloved ones around me, but can I sustain the whole society? No, I cannot. So
Hell
that is
no.
where
I can say the whole society's got to sustain the whole society, Joe. But you ain't nobody can, the billionaires who stolen all the money got to put the money back in society, which they don't.
Exactly. So that is the main reason why the dream of I want to become rich so I can help the poor actually has been completely shattered. But let me continue.
But how about you educate? How about you educate the poor so they don't be poor no more? I'd rather do that because I can't bring anybody with me. I educate the poor so they won't be poor. Do that.
That's true.
Inequality in Kenya is a ticking time bomb.
Well, we have to be specific. That's why personally I said in Africa, because if you look at it, it's not just Kenya. This is in the whole of the African
No,
continent.
I said Africa. Yeah, because of the mindset. The mindset has been destroyed. Like I just said a video with you about how bad the African mindset has been completely shattered. They were showing a video of the skin bleaching problem in Africa. You don't even want to be African. The number one was Nigeria with skin bleaching. I knew they did much ass kisses the South Africans. They were doing all that Ghana, all your ass kissing ass countries. So, till you want to be African and get your mind back, you can't save the poverty situation. Your mind is effed up. The African's mind has been completely right, fucked up. Until you get that back, because I you got to do with white Jesus or Allah. Oh, fuck it. Get away from it. Go ahead, Joseph.
Placed under the country by colonialism and which post-independence puppets have failed to diffuse. The most glaring manifestation of the problem is Nairobi. It is wealthier than 29 other Kenyan counties combined and contributes 27% of Kenya's $107 billion GDP. Yet poverty is the norm, many would argue by design.
We can say that, poverty is the goose that lays silver eggs, yeah? And there are people, who have no business doing away with, of course, poverty.
Exactly. They don't care. It's not a part of their plan because it helps them to
Exactly.
continue ruling the mindset, which is the majority, sadly, And that's what I was even saying today. The same thing you always say, and I think it really makes sense. All right. Yes, these the how do you call them? The mid-class people, the middle class people. The middle class people today, I'd say also they're also close to poverty, majority, trust me, majority. They're not
Of course. No, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a middle class anymore, Joey.
exactly, the middle class life is not what it used to be, because it used to be there. And if should be applied, like what you were saying, the houses you were showing me in Rwanda, and I said this is not slums, and other houses like you were showing me the other time, checking the people being kicked out of the house, and you say that would be considered
Yeah.
a poor estate, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's a whole estate here,
because Africa's been kept in such poverty, Joby, that you think something else looking poor is nice when it's actually poverty. That's the poverty in Africa is inhumane. There shouldn't be no comparison. See, your idea of poverty is like it is off the charts crazy. Like a cabana. So when I show you this a house like that, so that's poverty. What? That's not poverty. That's middle class. That ain't no middle class. Crazy.
Yeah.
60% of Nairobi's 5 million residents live in Nairobi's 200 slums, which occupy only 6% of the city's land area. Nairobi also has two of the three biggest slums in Africa, in the form of Mathare and Kibera.
Two biggest slums in Africa.
Kibera, the biggest in Africa, and the setting of our story, is home to approximately 250,000 people across an area of just 2.5 square kilometers.
God damn, look at that shit right there.
Lack of sanitation infrastructure.
How could you even be
overcrowding?
How would you be ashamed of that? How would you not be ashamed of that? Like what? You got dignitaries that come to your country, they gonna pass that shit. These niggas don't know how to manage a city. What kind of shit is this? Look at this shit here. I'd be embarrassed.
Life expectancy is just 30 years.
Which is 30 years because of the water you're drinking, the food you're eating.
Of course, because exactly 30 years. So before you met the Mzungu, your lifespan was 150 years to 200 years. You had clean water, but in those slums like they didn't exist. Now your life expectancy is 30 years. Great. And in Kibera, you got all these churches up in there. All these churches you praying to, and your lifespan is 30 years. Why doesn't Jesus help you with your lifespan? But you're too stupid to think, hey, this religion is really stupid. Yeah.
Research investment into Nairobi's education system reveals more. Out of 386 secondary schools, only 103 are public schools. The teacher-to-student ratio in public schools is 29, compared with 14 for private schools, meaning less teacher-to-student engagement. Public schools also crowded overall.
Look at this crazy shit here. When a government doesn't care about, look at this crazy shit right here, Toby. Look at this crazy shit. That's what they show over Africa. This ain't Kenya. This is in Africa. I want to do this. Forget where this is Kenya. You'll show this shit in Ghana, Nigeria, Angola, Mozambique. Same shit just like this. The goopy outfits they got, the goopy uniforms, the fucked up schools that don't look like a school, like an old shack they in.
with an average population of 1,155 students in public schools versus 225 in private ones. The theme recast in healthcare, with private options dwarfing public healthcare. Nairobi has 771 level 2 hospitals, only 87 of them public. Of its 240 level 3 hospitals, only 44 are public, and only 8 level 4 hospitals out of a total of 97 are public. So what's behind this disparity?
Before the white colonizers came, we did not have a crisis that we see today of, slums. So then we investigate how then.
And that before the white colonizers came, see, they don't ever collect those dots. Shout this young man. You had none of this shit. You didn't have all the diseases. You didn't have slums. And you think now because you don't know shit. Oh, we've always been poor. We've always lived in these slums. No. Just because colonialism stole all your wealth and put your ass in slums. And made you ignorant and gave you a fake religion of worshiping them. Now y'all backward and fucked up. Go ahead, Joe.
These slums start emerging, yeah? Look at Kibera.
Exactly.
If you look at Kibera, the slum in Kibera, you realize it has a colonial history, yeah? I think around 1918, when Sudanese soldiers who were working for the King's African Rifle were given, this place to call home, the Nubia.
All these slums in Africa are because of colonialism. All of them. All of them. But your moronic leaders, they know it. They know it. They should have never, these things should never be allowed to even exist. And they was getting built. You should have bulldozed that shit down to the ground. If you call yourself a proud African, what is this shit? My people are not going to live like this. But you internalize yourself hate. Since you hate yourself, you think it's okay for your people to live all fucked up, all below the margins. Because your mind, see, this is my mind. Your mind is fucked up. So when I get angry, your mind is fucked up. You think this is normal as a leader when your people live like this in squalor and poverty because your mind is fucked up. You're fucked up in the head. Because you wouldn't find no shit like that in Europe because just as them caring about themselves, you'll find poverty in Europe, but not like this. Hey, this is extreme. I'm not going to tolerate this because I'm European. Me as an African, if I ruled India, I hate to say shout out to Kagame, I would never tolerate this shit in my country as an African. There's no way. We make more enough money to make sure there ain't no slums like this. And anybody stealing that money out of getting rid of these slums, I'm bubble gumming your ass. Immediately on the spot. You out of your mind? You should be ashamed to have any shit like this in your country. As an African man, African woman, calling yourself a leader. You should be ashamed. Shame on you. They got people going to pray to some cracker Jesus in the sky. And you know the shit ain't real. And people keep living in slums like this. Shit's crazy. Go ahead.
So you see the relation with colonialism. And then what happens after British have left, they abandon them.
At the core of the issue is land. Nairobi was built on racial and class segregation fueled by land ownership inequality.
By the white people taking everything.
British settlers developed a three-tier hierarchy, with Europeans at the top, Asians in the middle, and Africans at the bottom.
Exactly. I told Joby, this is globally your racial pyramid scheme, like I told you. Right on top, all other races in the middle, and black always on the bottom. Always. Always, no matter where you go in America. Right on top, everybody coming in, motherfucker in the middle, and black Americans, black people always on the bottom. South Africa, blacks on the bottom. Everywhere you go, black on the bottom. You understand that? And sadly, as Africans, we allowed that. Suppose that if you got independent, motherfucker, are you out of your mind? I'm getting asked out to Idi Amin. I'm getting Africa back. You think I'm going to allow black people to be on the bottom? In Africa? What is wrong with your mind? And I told you, 2 years ago, I was trying to get housing in Kenya. where these white people told me directly to my motherfucking face in Mombasa, we don't want black people in here. And same thing I heard in Tanzania with Cammy and Spikes, with these Indians told me the same shit. I said, listen here, motherfucker. I need to resurrect Idi Amin ass because you Negroes have allowed this disrespect in Africa. And you've allowed this racial pyramid scheme. Shout out to the Africans that now understand this. Thank God I ain't got to be saying this no more. That this video is showing what I've been saying. Shout out to you Africans finally understanding you're in a racial pyramid scheme. And you're supposed to always be on the bottom. That's why your countries are fucked up. That's why your resources are stolen. That's why you got a paradigm of Africa being rich, but Africans being poor. That's what, and they'll do everything to make sure that you don't overturn this system. Everything. Go ahead, Joby. My damn rant.
The British kicked the natives off their land and settled in the lush, hilly north and northwest part
Of
of
course,
Europe.
this is what the French did too. All the Europeans did the same thing. We got French came in, the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Belgians, the Belgian, the Germans, all did the same shit. All of them. Same racial pyramid scheme because they are the same people. But go ahead, Joe.
Due to proximity to the railway and commercial areas, Africans were left with unattractive areas in the east. The Nubians, serving under the British colonial government, were given Kibera.
Our history evolved because our forefathers were brought to come and assist the British during the British Empire and its expedition around the world. So Kibera itself was founded, I think, as a reserve for soldiers who fought during the First World War and the Second World War. And it was approximately around 4,375 acres. And the name Kibera derived from what we call in our ethnic language, Kibera means forest.
After 1969, that is when things started changing here because of politics. People started to come in, bringing voters from areas, other areas, urban, and others came in here. That's because of looking for greener pasture, for work. There were no works, and the rural coming here. That is how things started changing.
Historically, there were now specific areas for the African working class. Because if you walk to Parklands, you realize now it's an Indian neighborhood. You go to another place, you go to Karen, you realize it was a white people. Now,
White neighborhood. But you've allowed this. You've allowed this in Africa. You've allowed it to continue. You've allowed yourself to be subjugated in your own land. You've allowed this. It's everywhere you go in Africa. You've allowed to be bootlickers. You've allowed that to be masters in your own land. You've allowed this. I told you the Indian talked to me crazy now. Like, what? What? You talking to me? You got me fucked up, boy. I'm not one of these goofy Africans. You better go back to India. I'll fold your ass up around here. You allow these people to come in and take over certain parts of Africa and then look down on you out of your fucking mind. Your mind has been completely colonized. Go ahead, Joe.
Who have now living there and in those places, yeah.
With a significant number of residents living under the poverty line today, slums have mushroomed close to wealthier suburbs and industrial areas as workers cut transport costs by choosing to walk at times 10 to 15 kilometers to work.
Baada ya kuhitimu kutoka kwa hiyo, ndio sasa ngakuja mjini kutafuta kazi. Nilikuwa nakaa upande wa Ngara, lakini wakati nipata kazi PM Security hapa karibu na showground, sasa ngaona wataka nihamia hapa. And only
the African can live in some shit like this and don't revolt. Only African can live in this shit No way. Like Jeffrey Ocean did that guy. You think we're gonna live in unhuman condition? We're just asking to be human? You're certainly crazy. Like 50, 60 years saying that shit. That's you what? You're gonna be born in this shit. I'd rather die than live in this shit here. I'm going to war. I'm overthrowing the government. Not living in no shit like this. This is inhumane. Your mind is fucked up. Think you're supposed to live like this. Live like no more than a damn animal. And still be quiet. Oh, you gotta be respectful. The bigger, all that goofy respectful shit Africans get. You gotta don't rock the boat. Be quiet. Don't question. We live in shit. Just wait on Jesus. Motherfucker, I've been waiting on Jesus my whole fucking life. I'm still living in shit. Shit and piss. No bathrooms. You guys see that Cabrera shit? That shit'll break your heart. That's one of the most despicable things I've ever seen in my life. No running water, no fucking shit. Oh man, that's why the average lifespan is 30. And you talking about you ain't gonna revolt? You gonna keep praying to some made up God, whether it be Allah. You got Muslims in that shit too, Allah, whatever. Ain't none of that fake shit coming to save you because it's fake. And you living in 30 years, you got no clean. It just, oh man, what? I don't see. Only the African mind can accept this. I don't know how you can accept this. I really don't. I don't know how you can live it. Shout out to Trump. Trump said to only the African can live in this kind of poverty and don't do shit. This is inhumane. This is not. This poverty is inhumane. Not that it is poverty, because we all been poor. This poverty is inhumane, unhuman. Strip you of your common decency and dignity as a human being. And I refuse to. But go ahead, Joe. This shit making me angry.
How did they get their wealth? Because they get their wealth at the back of Kibera residents. Without the work, there is no money. So these people live here. They go to a construction site. Once they build the house, that is the last time they are there. The next time they will be in that house is cleaning it. So they construct the world, but are alienated from the whole world.
Life is precarious in Nairobi's informal settlements. A study investigating the long-term consequences of living in slums on health found that pneumonia, diarrhea, stillbirth, and anemia are the biggest causes of premature deaths for children under 5.
Diarrhea, because it's inhumane. I couldn't have that. Roger, what's that?
I'm saying, look at these children.
Got children in that shit. Yeah, stepping on shit, piss, and taking that shit back in your little slum house, shit, and pissing like. It's absolutely crazy. This is what the Europeans love this. The way these dumb niggas live, they stupid. Look how they live. How about they build? Look at the way these niggas live. You never live like this. Nobody ever lived like this in Africa past 20 years ago. Ever live like this. But they'll tell you this way Africa's always lived. Africa never had no. This is colonialism. And your mind fucked up. Now, you know, I'm supposed to live in this kind of poverty and waiting on the Lord. Waiting on Allah. Allah Akbar. Go ahead.
Is caused by poor air quality in the park settlements, often located close to industry. An absence of proper waste disposal services and sewage treatment contributes to diarrhea. Meanwhile, poverty and insufficient health services in the neighborhoods drive malnutrition and anemia.
The feeling of walking around the ghetto settlements, the poor neighborhoods, can only make any human being angry. Because this is not how human beings should live. In fact, in the Communist Party of Kenya, we wonder why the politicians come to this place and it's like they feel nothing about it. To them, everything is normal. But what we have
That's what I'm asking.
People living in our.
How can you walk through that shit and not be angry? How can you live in that shit and not be angry? I can be peaceful in that shit. I'm angry just looking at it. As an African, I'm angry. Angry as hell right now. Motherfucker, on your mind. You got these fucking psychopathic ass politicians in Kenya. They just walk past. That shit will be torn down. That's yesterday. Your fucking mind got babies up in there. Want to tell me about your fake Jesus and you building a church and you got this shit next door, this Kibana shit. Tell me about your fake fucking church or your fake mosque. You better get out my goddamn face talking that fuck shit to me. You got people living in these inhumane conditions. Man is absolutely right. You don't get mad looking at this. That's why I never jump his shoulders and gives me such a feeling of complete anger. Walk past this shit, you don't feel nothing. Fuck is wrong with you? You can go live in this shit and be, oh well, I'm calm. Fuck is wrong with you? Look out the window, see babies playing and pissing shit. The fuck is wrong with you? You're fucked up in the head. Go ahead, Joe.
There is no running water. There is no, toilet facilities or sanitation. There is no surety even of the next meal.
For adults, AIDS and tuberculosis are the biggest premature killers at 49%. The HIV and AIDS crisis stems from poverty, stress, and the resultant choices, including prostitution.
Mateenager wanaingia vitu zenye hazifai kwa early age yao, unaona. Sasa inakuwa challenge hata kwa
How woman's hygiene is up in there? Oh my God. There's a woman being up in there with her hygiene and go running water. You know her coochie fucked up. Oh,
These are the same cases. Remember, we discussed getting even a jar of water. If you don't have money, you have to sleep with the people. Cartels who are controlling the water.
You sleeping with, man, you keep that. You keep that. You keep that. You ain't got to pay me with that. You keep that. It's the moron even sleep with a woman in these kind of conditions. You fucked up in the head. There's no way. Because the lady can't even wash herself like a normal. It's just inhumane. She can't even wash herself like a normal person. A woman's got to have access to clean, runnable water. You can't have women in conditions like this. You understand this? A woman's hygiene is very important. You can't have a woman living in shit like this and raise normal children. That's why everybody's dying at 30. It's fucking crazy. I won't even touch your ass. I come from Canberra. Oh, okay, cool. Good luck with you. Good luck with that. I'm just being honest. I'm keeping it real. Don't put your coochie around me.
Unawezaje sema serikali imeparticipate vipi towards addressing hizi issues, basic necessities za wanawake wa
Exactly, basic necessities.
I'm not sure. Yeah. So maybe the only thing that maybe wanna provide your medical camp, but once in a blue moon.
And it's the same thing. Same thing you see in Nigeria with that fucking water, that fucking shit of water, that water shit they in. The level, it's just absolutely crazy. Your politicians are psychopaths. Walk past that shit, don't destroy it. So go ahead, Joe.
Are prevalent in the settlements, contrasting sharply with wealthier neighborhoods.
Hapa sida security-wise India.
Imagine the stink it has in it. Imagine the stink.
Saa 8, saa 7, anytime. Lakini saa hii security, saa hii kwenda hivi saa 6 kwenda mbele, lazima vijana watakukapa hapa njiani.
The issue is poverty.
Kenya,
Yep.
hakuna kazi
And understand it. Most of these the Africans, I'm saying your ruling class of Africans are fucked up in the head. They're all colonized. They're fucked up. So the reason why you got this level of poverty is because I've noticed they don't even want to pay people livable wages. They don't want to pay people livable wages in Africa. They sometimes there's no laws. They don't pay people sometimes. They don't want to pay Africans livable wages. They're working these hard ass jobs for that motherfucker 2 shillings. They don't even pay Africans livable wages. This is what I try to teach Katie, stupid ass. I said, motherfucker, you have no idea. Once I fire your ass, you're going back into real Kenya, stupid, real Africa. They don't want to pay you shit. And you was getting paid a livable wage to literally do fucking nothing but sit on your ass. But I'm gonna put you back out in real Kenya and real Africa. Show how real Africa gets down. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you better. I'm gonna show you better than I'm gonna tell you. This ain't Kenya. This Africa. And I'm letting you know I've been all over Africa, girl, all over it. So I'm gonna show you better than I'm gonna tell you. They don't want to pay African people, Ghana, Nigeria, a livable wage. Okay? You about to find out? That's why in Africa you can build apartments without running water when it's illegal anywhere in the world. You can't build no place without no fucking running water and bathroom facilities. It is illegal because it's inhumane. You can't build no structure outside of Black Africa without running water and bathroom facilities built into the place. Only in Africa you can build some shit that don't have running water and bathroom facilities. Because it's the disrespect. White on top, black on the bottom. And it's the ultimate disrespect of African people. Motherfucker work all damn day. Motherfucker get paid goddamn $20 a month. You're like, what? Yeah, I work all day, 8 days a week. 7 days a week. These motherfuckers in Africa don't even want to give people days off. Yep. I'm breaking the back and telling the truth. They don't even want motherfucker to have a day off. And pay them nothing. $50 a month. In Africa, you only get paid once a month. The norm in Africa, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Why is Africa the only place on the planet where people get paid once a fucking month? That's the norm. It ain't Kenya. It ain't Tanzania. That's Africa. You go to Nigeria, they get paid once a month. You go to goddamn Ghana, they get paid once a month. And I'm talking about little nothing. This thing with Modi married and his wife Truth from Kenya is at this gas station, right? These guys are always hard working Ghana. And Truth said, how much you guys make? A month. Because they get paid on a month. These motherfuckers are working hard as shit. They got paid $50 a month. A month. That's a little more than $1 a day. It ain't $2. That's like $1.50, $1.30, whatever it was. They got paid $50 a month. They working hard as shit. That's Africa, morons. That's Africa's allowed this disrespect. You getting paid fucking once a month. You got your fucking mind? First heard that shit when I first got to Africa. I said, how much? What? You getting paid how? What? We get paid every month. Every month. Shit, goddamn it! I get paid every week. I can't even make it I can't even make it 2 weeks. Right? Remember when you quit that job? They paid you every 2 weeks. I can't even imagine getting paid even every 2 weeks. 2 weeks is too long for me. Shit. Talking about every 2 weeks. Motherfucker, you crazy? But a month? Man, you got me all the way effed up. But it's because of African people. They're kind. They've allowed this disrespect. That's why you live in these slums. You're too calm. You're too loving. You live in these filthy ass places, and you think this is normal because they told you Africans are supposed to live all fucked up, and you've accepted that. Damn that! I mean, you ain't gonna pay me no once a month to give me no $50. And I'll you laughing in my other ear. I'm all the reason I got the oil and all the gold. You gonna give me $50? I done fucking slave for a goddamn month.
Let me finish this one. So
Go ahead, go.
Wamemaliza
Don't be laughing at my rant.
wanataka wawe na smartphone kama wewe, wanataka wakule, wanataka wafae mzuri. Hiyo vitu yote itatoka wapi?
You realize even with the crime that we see here, even with the crime that we continue to see here, the youths, it's either you steal and get something to eat or wait to die of starvation. Yeah. So it's a very thin line. Yeah. You go now to the more affluent neighborhoods, yeah, and you realize the problems of the youths there are not the same problems the youths are facing here. So maybe a woman here is stressed because the children are going to sleep hungry. Maybe the kid is going to be shot.
A glimpse into what the wealthy elite on the other side of the fence enjoy is revealing. Take access to water. A 2013 study found that higher income class neighborhoods enjoy access to piped water 85 to 95% of the time, compared with 12% in the.
I wouldn't drink none of that shit. I wouldn't drink none of that shit. You got me fucked up. I won't touch none of it. Yes, the kid is no. I'm not drinking that shit. I'll be shitting all over myself drinking that shit. That's why I choose to pay the maid. But just say, why you pay the maid that much? Because of dignity, Joby. Because I gotta pay her dignity. As an African, I gotta pay you your dignity. So I'm not drinking none of that shit. None of it.
Residents of posh neighborhoods are found to consume 200 to 300 liters of water a day, while a slum inhabitant will only use 15 liters a day. In a bitter twist of irony, slum dwellers pay between 10 and 25 times more.
They cook their food in that water, Joby Shaw, right now. They cook their food and wash their clothes in it. I'm not touching nothing. I told you. You come from any slum, sometimes you talk, hey, go about your business. They wash their clothes in that shit. They gotta cook in that shit. They gotta wash their dishes in that shit. You got me all the way fucked up.
Due to the unreliability and inaccessibility of services.
Kama hapa Kibra kuna challenge ya vitu mingi. Unaona? Maji yenye tunatumia uwezi sema ni kama ya watu wa Lang'ata. Unaona? Yao at least ishatibiwa. Sasa unajua ghetto tu venye kuko.
The inequality spreads even to law enforcement.
Even when Joey went back home, I was like, nah, I won't be up in there.
I came back to my house.
Joey can kick rocks. I'm not going up in there. Your parents can come visit me in the parts of Nairobi. I won't be going up in there.
Everyone stay where they are, because once they come here, they'll want to move here. So no way. That's why I came back home early.
In treatment based on the class background of the residents.
Sasa tuseme kama nimeenda Lang'ata, alafu nipatane na sanse huko hivyo, si ndio? Ataniangalia, alafu atanijudge. Umeona? Atajua tu mimi ni mano wapi wa mtaa. Si umeona? So lazima atanianda design fulani juu like
talking about youths getting arrested by cops also just because you look like you're from the ghetto, so you look like a suspect all the time. You just look like a suspect.
So you talking about how white supremacy has destroyed the African man. So I'm black and poor, so I look like a suspect.
Yeah.
That's the white mindset.
Yeah, I get.
Non-governmental aid organizations have been providing some aid to the slums, but NGOs have also provided an opportunity for the government to get away with not providing the settlements with essential services. Worse, the help such organizations provide fails to address the systemic issues that maintain the slum status quo.
We see that the current administration and the previous ones have taken Kibera people for a ride. And in fact, it is time for Kibera people. Now we have many NGOs here. American NGOs are here, USAID NGOs. How is it that families are spending billions in Kibera and the Kibera residents' life are not changing? But they're driving Kibera because
the NGOs are fake. Those are spies. Those NGOs not there to help no Africans. It's all the time. They're not there. Everybody should kick all the NGOs out like Ibram Traore did. The NGOs are fake, stupid. They're not there to help you.
Pay themselves allowances and they say they're helping Kibera.
First understand where did these NGOs emerge from? And if you look at NGOs, they emerged from the womb of the neoliberal insurgency in the 80s. And one thing they've done successfully, at least within our communities here, is to depoliticize our masses. Yeah. So we have people, of course, who are making a lot of money from NGOs and the struggles of our people. But we also have, the objectives of the NGO, in general, which is to depoliticize our masses. I will use one example. Yeah. You look at the ghetto
Smart.
here, and
That is
you
smart.
realize there's a problem, the land problem. But what the NGOs will do, instead of coming to address the land problem, they will come to, advise people how to plant, vegetables in sacks. So what they do is to remove our people from their reality, which is a land question. Because if you look at the country is still occupied by white people.
Exactly. Hey, thank you, young man, for being truthful. I told you, think South Africa is still occupied. Kenya, all of Africa. White people never gave you back your shit. You get that? And you ain't done nothing about it. And shout out to that one white man who's still in Kenya. Said, we're not giving back shit. We stole it. He told you we stole it. That's right. We don't plan to give back shit. We know these Africans ain't never gonna rise up and take it. They ain't giving back shit. While they live in the slums.
If the entire existence is tied to helping poor Africans in informal settlements, what happens when there no longer are poor Africans in informal settlements?
If they fight poverty and eliminate poverty, then it means their
No
careers
job
are
for
in
them.
crisis.
Exactly. No
Because
job for
now,
them.
after, the only reason that people subject themselves or, even find themselves being humiliated by this politician is their poverty. So if at all the government is able now to deal with poverty, it means we have few people to deceive. And that, of course, is not for their interests.
We spoke to Dave Boniface from New Community Kibera, who shared the challenges faced in the settlement and his organization's work there.
I suppose the analogy used of a band-aid is probably quite a reasonable one to do so. But I think the challenges on Kibera is so huge that the more people involved has got to be.
You know what? They're not huge.
I think.
This is white people talking crazy. Shut that white man up. Goddamn no good bastard. They're not huge. You would have tore it down like Ibn Traore doing and start building affordable houses. How's the country supposed to be cheap? Poorer than Kenya, building all these free houses in Burkina Faso. Oh, because they use actually the real minerals down to make real wealth. It's not hard. You tear all that shit down. You bulldoze it to the ground. You get all that shit up, all that filth, all that doo-doo and piss. You what? You bulldoze it to the ground. Not try to fix it. There's no way to fix it. You get rid of it. Then you start building affordable houses that you own and control, not the white man, not your fake ass NGOs. But guess what? You got to have real people that care about African people. Can't be your Rutos, your Hutus, and all you other parasitical Negroes that were put in power by the white colonizers. That's what you do. It's not, oh, it's just hard. It's no good white bastard here. It's hard, I mean, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Get a bunch of bulldozers, bulldoze that shit to the ground. And before you bulldoze it, you already created affordable housing, real good housing, so those people can move in. As soon as they get bulldozed, your house is already ready right there. Easy and effective. Easy. Do me a favor, Joe, for in the show. I want you to go to YouTube and show Ibn Traore in Burkina Faso and the affordable housing that's been built. Don't tell me it's hard. He built all this shit in 6 months. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
CPOs that we support and operate on the slum is always about helping people to do things for themselves.
Always helping people
to take over. The need is so huge that I think
the need is so huge.
No matter how much help, there's always going to be more need that's going.
And that's why
this is white people more on top.
Yeah, I'll say these are the same mumble talks they have used, so that's why they are seen as heroes. You'll see Mr.
Exactly.
Big coming here acting like now
Exactly. And the
all that.
poverty never changes, Joe. That's why you
Exactly.
gotta get rid of them. The scam. It's a lie. They've been there since the 80s. What's changed? It's got worse. They, like the NGO's been there since for 40 years. What's changed in Quebec? Absolutely fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
In the community he serves.
It would be for the people to be able to run these organisers for themselves and without support from outside. That would be a certain indicator of success.
With the government washing its hands of its responsibility to its citizens and NGOs and churches filling the vacuum, what does the community want and what options do community organizations have?
Or create more opportunities kwa my youth man. Kuko na ma recycling most.
No, you'll be born in that shit and you'll die in that shit.
Kwa spaces zitafutwe. Ma youth man waemployiwe, unaona? So from there, security inaweza patikana.
Yeah, so he's saying the youth, if they're employed, the security gets to improve because people are busy and you don't, you're occupied. Because the reason why people are still in the ghetto mostly is because of lack of employment.
Yeah, because they're broken poor. That's how crime is a thing of poverty. Well, you have crime in Africa because people are poor.
Of our people, at least for now, because we also
all these issues are because white people got control of the world. Okay, them coming out of Europe and their fucked up psychopathic mind frame and implementing their wicked ass system globally. That's the problem. That's why you got prostitution, you got poverty, all from the minds of psychopaths. You got child trafficking. All this shit stems from white people get control of the planet. See, nobody wants to go back to really, oh, what's the problem? How did it start? No, that's the problem. That's what I'll start the problem. That's it. I got to do because you raised a certain way and all this other shit. Now you're impoverished. Poverty comes from, stealing comes because now you're in poverty. You're trying to survive. You're put in survival mode because of colonialism. You get it? You've been put in slums because of colonialism. You've been given bad health because of colonialism. All your shit, you've been put in prostitution and child rape because of colonialism. Go ahead, Joe.
That's not just groundbreaking, but life-changing for thousands of families. If you've ever dreamed of a world where everyone has access to safe, affordable, and dignified housing, this update is going to make your heart
dignity. Dignity. That shit is undignified, like I said. You deserve dignity as a human being. Go ahead, Joby.
Picture this. A young mother in Burkina Faso, let's call her Aminata, who spent years juggling rent payments in a cramped, leaky apartment. Now imagine her tears of joy as she steps into her new home, a sturdy, sunlit space where her children can play safely, and she can finally breathe. That's the human magic behind today's story. We're diving into one of the most ambitious housing projects in West Africa, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for every single detail. Let's get into it.
Tear down every one of these
First off,
fucking slums.
a massive shout out to all our subscribers and channel members. Your support fuels this journey of sharing transformative stories like the one I'm about to unfold.
And shout out even to race and every African American. You're welcome back in Burkina Faso. Come home if you want to. Go ahead, Joe.
You've been here since day one or just hit that subscribe button, thank you for being part of this family. Every time you like, comment, or share, you're amplifying voices that deserve to be heard. Special love to our channel members. Your badges aren't just flair, they're symbols of the community we're building together. We're here to inspire, inform, and ignite change, and none of this would be possible without you. Now, let's dive into the heart of today's story. Imagine waking up in a vibrant, thriving community where your home isn't just a roof over your head, but a space designed for comfort, growth, and belonging. That's the vision behind CGE Immobiliar's newly launched WASA program, a 10,000 home mega project set to redefine urban living in Burkina Faso. Launched on April 11th in the bustling district of Kubri, this
Look,
initiative
look,
isn't
look,
just
look,
about
that
bricks and
toilets,
mortar,
that
it's
actual
about
toilets in the house. Running water, that's 10,000. All you gotta do is make Quebec's 100,000 people, make a few more, and you got them all out of there. Don't cost hardly nothing. They got running water and actual real toilets. So don't nobody be dying at 30, living in shit and piss. Because you care about people. Because you have a common humanity. And this is why white people are mad at him, because they get off you living in slums and living all fucked up. White on the top, black on the bottom, in poverty and despair. I want you that mindset. And when they see African people, which you should easily be able to pay for all that, with your resources, that don't cost nothing to build that shit. That you live with dignity, you live with respect. That cost the Bikini Faso literally nothing to build those homes and build them nicely. Go ahead, Joker.
Opportunity and the government's bold commitment to ensuring every citizen has a place to call home. So, what's the big deal? Let's break it down. The WASA program, aptly named A Roof for All, is a 5-year master plan to tackle Burkina Faso's housing deficit head-on. With a jaw-dropping target of 10,000 units, this project is a beacon of innovation, blending affordability, functionality, and modern design. But here's the kicker. These aren't just cookie-cutter houses. CGE Immobilier has introduced 2 stunning housing models, Ronier and Acacia, each crafted to meet the diverse needs of Burkinabe families. The Ronier model, named after the resilient palm tree native to West Africa, emphasizes durability and flexibility. It features a modular design that allows families to expand their homes horizontally as their needs grow, perfect for multi-generational living. The Acacia model, inspired by the iconic tree symbolizing wisdom and protection, prioritizes energy efficiency with solar-ready roofs and rainwater harvesting systems. Both designs include a spacious bedroom, airy living area, modern bathroom, and
That's the bathroom for real. That's so pretty.
functional kitchen, all nestled
Joby.
on a
You're
200
supposed to live in dignity, Joby. You're supposed to live in shit and piss. And come and think that's normal for you being an African. This is supposed to be the norm, Joby. Right there. Like everybody else in the world lives. That's supposed to be the norm for you in the richest continent. Go ahead.
plot with room for a backyard garden or future extension. And the best part? These homes are priced at 11.5 million CFA francs, roughly 19,000, through a rent-to-own scheme making home ownership achievable for millions who've been priced out of the market.
Cool.
Let's unpack that. Families can move in by paying a modest monthly rent, with a portion of each payment contributing toward eventual ownership. No predatory interest rates, no hidden fees, just a transparent path to stability. For context, the average income in Burkina Faso...
He said you can rent to own. So he's saying you can rent to own that, guys. You're not renting for somebody else. As you pay your rent, you owning it. So you get ownership when you're done, when you reach a certain level. So with no interest. So you're going to own that property. Exactly, with no interest.
800 annually. So this model isn't just innovative, it's...
So understand, pause that. So their annual income, less than what Joby makes in 2 months. They only make $800 a year. Those you want to pay African people nothing. $800 a year is the average income in Burkina Faso. $800, that's what, damn, what is that, like $100? That's almost like $50 a month again. That's less than $100 a month. So it's like $75 a month. Some shit like that. A little bit more than 50. I told you. I want to pay you that. So I said 50. So I think that's about, what was it, like $75 a month? So their average income is like $75 a month. I wish I could pay a motherfucker $75 a month.
I know. God.
Revolutionary. Now, let's talk about the why behind this project. Urbanization is skyrocketing across Africa, and Burkina Faso is no exception. Cities are bursting at the seams, land prices are soaring, and families are struggling to find decent housing. Enter the government's Siwatara vision, a blueprint for sustainable urban development that prioritizes density, accessibility, and community-centric design. Named after a local term meaning progress through unity, Siwatara aligns with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 11, focusing on inclusive cities and reducing urban poverty. The WASA program is the embodiment of this vision. By replacing the sale of bare plots with ready-to-live-in homes, the government and CGE Immobilier are tackling two birds with one stone, curbing urban sprawl and creating jobs. Oh, did I mention this project is expected to generate over 15,000 jobs in construction, engineering, and related sectors? From local masons mastering new modular techniques to women-led cooperatives producing eco-friendly bricks, the ripple effect is immense. But wait, there's more. The first phase of the program focuses on standalone houses, but the second phase is where things get really interesting. CGE Immobilier plans to shift gears into high-rise apartments, particularly in the new city of Yanenga and Baobab City, two hubs already greenlit by the Ministry of Urban Planning. Why apartments? Simple. Vertical living is the future of sustainable cities. By building upward, Burkina Faso can preserve green spaces, reduce infrastructure costs, and create vibrant, walkable neighborhoods. These apartments aren't just buildings, they're ecosystems designed for community interaction with shared rooftop gardens, co-working spaces, and playgrounds at their core. Picture a 10-story complex where kids bike safely in car-free courtyards, elders swap stories in shaded common areas, and young professionals telecommute from sunlit balconies. It's a far cry from the overcrowded slums that dominate urban narratives. This is Africa reimagined. Now, before I go any further, let me pause and give...
Yeah, so from there, I think we understand what literally the message is about. Look at Kibera and look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing, and that's what white person is doing. The NGOs, it is something that they can do if they wanted to, but they have long kept this ongoing because it benefits them politically. Number one,
Overpriced slums.
it benefits them to have these people in slums because it benefits them politically,
Exactly.
giving people hope, selling them hopes, and never delivering anything. The same old schemes and narrative. But again, the fight is literally left upon us because if that information, I was really impressed to see that video and looking at the people talking, I'm like, wow, this is not what I share when it comes to Kibera. It's barely you hear that information from people, especially in Kibera, because the education, again, it's not everyone who can access education or go to class coming from the slums. That is just the reality. So most will end up being thieves. You end up getting married early as a woman, you become a single mother, especially single moms mostly are there.
That's right. Yeah, you talking about that? You talking about that business? Talking about that business cycle, Joe. That's right. That business cycle, over and over again.
Yeah, so we shall discuss much more tonight on the Africa Today show. And of course, shout out to John Mosquito, Byron Scott, who are there listening. And to those who are tuning in right now, you can catch up with the What's On after this and see what she's talking about as well. But much love. See you guys later tonight on the Africa
Peace,
Today
family. See you guys later tonight on Africa Today show.
show. All right. Peace
1
out.
o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central.
Period.